Kathy Engelberg, you said Caitlin Clark should be grateful of the WNBA. What?
Hold up. Someone just dropped an absolute bombshell that's going to completely flip how you see the WNBA. Trust me, Napheesa Collier has finally broken her silence. And she's not holding back, exposing the commissioner's dirtiest secrets and agenda directly against none other than Caitlin Clark herself.
Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value.
But believe it or not, that's just the beginning. She's also spilling the tea on a secret, shady alliance between the WNBA commissioner and some seriously corrupt refs, sending the commissioner into total panic mode right now. If you're with us and believe Caitlin Clark deserves justice, then you better type "fire the commissioner" in the comments below, because we're about to dive deep into exactly what Napheesa leaked and how it could completely obliterate the commissioner's entire career. Let's go.
The biggest news in the W is the searing comments from Napheesa Collier in her exit interview earlier this morning.
Seriously, this is absolutely insane. Napheesa Collier just proved she has the courage, the absolute audacity to say what literally no other player in the league has ever dared to speak out loud. And you know what? She didn't flinch. She didn't even hesitate. She just fearlessly ripped open the bitter truth about the league. Consequences be darned.
We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world. If I didn't know exactly what the job entailed, maybe I wouldn't feel this way.
But the part that dropped everyone's jaw to the floor, the absolute biggest stunner in all of this, was when she started talking about Caitlin Clark. You gotta hear this. Let me play that clip for you right now.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
Are you kidding me right now? Just stop and think about this for a second. Caitlin is not just any rookie, she is the biggest, undeniable reason the WNBA is absolutely shattering records across the board. Ratings are through the roof, tickets are selling out faster than ever, jersey sales are astronomical, social media engagement is exploding. Literally every single thing the league is bragging about right now has her fingerprints all over it. That's how insanely valuable she is. But here's the mind-blowing, craziest part. The commissioner actually sees it the complete opposite way, because according to Collier, Kathy basically told her straight up that Caitlin Clark should actually be grateful to the league. Grateful for what? For single-handedly dragging the league into primetime television, for bringing in millions of brand new fans who never watched before? How unbelievably naive and out of touch is that thinking?
This commissioner could be about the fact that Caitlin Clark needs the league more than the league needs Caitlin Clark. Are you mental? You know what could happen, and I know nobody wants to see Caitlin Clark go to the Unrivaled. Everybody's made that clear. But I can tell you this right now, make it very clear. Caitlin Clark could come out and say, I'm going to the Unrivaled, I'm taking that $1 million offer. You know what would happen? Over 1 million people would start watching Unrivaled games overnight.
If Kathy truly feels that Caitlin should be grateful for her and grateful for the WNBA for her off-season league money, which, by the way, Caitlin had a lot of endorsement deals before she even came to the WNBA. If that is how she feels about Caitlin and it's not the reverse, not Kathy being grateful for Caitlin, that is so eye-opening.
But wait a second, because the next bombshell reveal is going to literally blow your mind even further. Collier also dropped details about the commissioner's absolutely shocking remarks regarding other players, basically saying they should be on their knees thanking the league for its media deals. On their knees? No way. I'm sorry, but that is not leadership. That is a flat-out insult, and that screams pure, unadulterated ego.
And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us.
Let me just say this straight up. No sugarcoating, this is the exact same league that has been riding high, living entirely off the immense star power and talent of these incredible women. And now their message is effectively, you should thank me for letting you shine. Please.
Shots after shots. Yo, Kathy said, forget what y'all talking about, be grateful.
And you know what really pours gasoline on this entire fire? Elena Delle Donne, a legend, retired this year, and straight up said she heard from everyone but the commissioner. So, maybe, just maybe, that explains why coaches are getting fined left and right for speaking their minds. Maybe that's the true foundation here. It seems Cathy Engelbert simply cannot stand being questioned. Everyone's expected to clap, smile, and just be perpetually grateful. And if you dare step out of line, well, you've seen exactly what happens. But here's the truly wild part. This was only one piece of what Collier had to unleash. Seriously, just think about it. She was injured. Her season was over, and she had absolutely nothing left to lose. So she completely torched the WNBA in a way nobody had ever witnessed before. And honestly, it felt like history unfolding right before our eyes. She didn't hold back, she went straight for the jugular, targeting the leadership directly. Not a jab, not a subtle hint, she called it the worst leadership in the world. Yes, the world. That wasn't just frustration. That was a player ripping the mask off for everyone to see.
I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money, it isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. At some point, everyone deserves to hear the truth from someone who I hope has earned the benefit of the doubt to fight for what is right and fair for our athletes and our fans. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
But wait, while literally every big name you can think of, from Stephanie White to Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall, has already publicly come out in massive support of Napheesa, guess what? Cathy Engelbert herself finally decided to reply, and honest, it was just a whole lot of empty, meaningless words.
I mean, I could go on and on. You guys already know how I feel. I want to read Cathy Engelbert's statement back to Napheesa Collier. She said, I have the utmost respect for Napheesa Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together, we have all worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players and the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to elevate the game. I am disheartened by how Napheesa characterized our conversations and league leadership, but even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. There's no answers in this. I get it. I think this is just an immediate knee-jerk reaction, just trying to say, like, you know, I'm disappointed with how she painted me, but there's no solutions here.
But Collier didn't just stop there. She pushed the envelope even further. Players have been whispering about terrible refs for years, but Collier finally screamed out loud what everyone has been thinking, tying it directly to her own devastating injury. She highlighted exactly how the refs let the game get so ridiculously physical, bodies literally break, and she's the living, breathing proof her entire season ended on one of those unbelievably obvious no-whistle plays.
Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our leader.
Now just think about this. This is exactly what just happened to Caitlin Clark. Collier revealed the commissioner told Caitlin she should be grateful? Think about it. When your absolute biggest stars like Caitlin, Napheesa, and Sophie are literally dropping out of games with brutal injuries. Is this how you treat them? These are the players fans actually pay their hard-earned money to see. These are the very faces of the league, and now they're sitting on the bench watching their teams battle without them. And instead of offering protection or even a shred of accountability, you tell them they should be grateful. That is not leadership. That is profoundly insulting. And it didn't even stop there. When Collier dared to bring up the officiating issue, Cathy Engelbert's response was basically that only losers complain about the refs. Losers? So now, questioning inconsistent, downright bad officiating somehow makes you a loser.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs.
Kathy, seriously? Can't you see that if they were losers, they absolutely would not have come out this straight, this bold. They would never have jeopardized everything, their image, their contracts, even their entire standing in the league, just to finally scream out the truth that's been ignored for years. And Kathy calls this the work of losers? No. This is the undeniable work of leaders. The exact kind of leaders the league so clearly does not have at the very top right now.
The league is crumbling. Your league that you should be a leader of is crumbling in front of your eyes. You have coaches crashing out. You have players getting injured. You have all of these things happening and you're like, everyone complains about the refs in every sport. And if you complain about them, then you're also a loser.
But here's the absolute kicker. Collier is not isolated in this fight. The players' union is squarely behind her, and big names are already echoing her exact words. Because right after that explosive interview, it felt like a total domino effect. Fans were already blasting Kathy all over social media, analysts were writing scorching hot takes, but this time, it wasn't just the outside noise. The players and coaches themselves started stepping up, and that, my friends, is when you know something truly serious is going down. Take Stephanie White, for example. She flat out said she respects Collier for having the guts to say exactly what needed to be said.
And Coach Stephanie White also responded to Fee's statement, and she said, I have a lot of respect for Fee. I'm thankful that we have strong women that are willing to say the things that matter and say the things that will move the needle for change. How things unfold after this are going to be very telling about the future of the WNBA.
And you can genuinely feel the weight behind that statement, because White has already been fined before for simply defending another coach. So if she's willing to publicly back Fee again, that means she is absolutely fed up with the league acting like it's untouchable. Kathy calls players losers for questioning refs, but here you have one of the most respected coaches in the game saying, nope, this needed to be said. Then there's Sophie Cunningham. Oh man, she went straight at the commissioner, calling her the most delusional leader the league has ever seen, bar none.
But Sophie Cunningham has clapped back at Kathy Engelbert, and this is a great post here from Sophie. So Sophie Cunningham on Instagram. So get ready to take your fine, Sophie. Get ready to take your fine. People only know Kathy because of Caitlin. She's the most delusional leader our league has ever seen. And it shouldn't even be about our commissioner in the first place.
And tell me that doesn't sting right down to your core, because Sophie isn't just some random voice here. She is directly backing up Caitlin Clark, the very player Kathy herself told should be grateful, while simultaneously the entire league is quite literally being carried on Caitlin's shoulders, and it just kept going. Angel Reese threw her full support behind Collier with that iconic 10 out of 10 no notes line, and then Tyrese Halliburton even jumped in too with a simple peep, showing this isn't just staying in the WNBA bubble anymore, it's exploding across the NBA and into mainstream sports conversations. Now guess what? Lexi Hull also powerfully added her voice, confirming she agreed with absolutely everything Collier said.
I mean, I know you're talking about Fee's interview, and I think when it comes down to it, I think I agree with everything she said. We're at a really important time in the league, and changes need to be made. And so you're seeing her talk about that, and I'm really proud of her for making that statement today.
Now, just picture this. Lexi standing shoulder to shoulder with Fee, Sophie fiercely defending Caitlin, and veterans like Elena Delle Donne revealing just how ridiculously disconnected Kathy has always been. You've got players from every single angle, every single locker room, all pointing at the exact same target. This isn't just noise anymore, folks. This is undeniable unity, and the cracks are simply too massive to hide. Honestly, this feels like the pivotal moment that could shatter the league wide open, because now everyone is asking the burning question, what is the league actually going to do this time? Will they finally hold Kathy accountable? Or is it just going to be the same old exhausting circus where speaking the truth always comes with a hefty price tag?
And so, there was clearly more going on behind the scenes than we thought there was. And a lot of us thought that there was a lot going on behind the scenes. A lot of people had some wild conspiracies that this whole thing was, just a big conspiracy to hold the W down. And you know what? Some of you guys might have been right. I'm looking forward to see how this all plays out over the next couple of weeks.
Because that is exactly what we have been witnessing Sophie Cunningham, out here, collecting fines like they're literal souvenirs. Caitlin Clark, the golden rookie, absolutely shattering every single record, gets fined for one tiny, harmless comment. And the coach, Cheryl Reeve, dares to call out bad officiating after her star player goes down, and suddenly she's slapped with a massive $15,000 fine and a suspension. Becky Hammon says a few words of support. Fined, Stephanie White supports Reeve. It honestly feels like the league is running a non-stop clearance sale on silencing anyone who dares to speak up.
Look, Becky Hammon just come out and said it, and I've been telling you guys, there's physicality in the NBA, but this is different. I've been saying this is different for how long? Becky Hammon just said, yeah, we got coaches that said if this happened in the NBA, they would be having flat-ass fist fights. It doesn't happen like that. They've got control. It's regulated. This league is not policing its own product and its own players.
But here's the colossal problem. Fans are not blind to any of this. They see it all crystal clear. They are already beyond frustrated. Ratings are noticeably slipping. Arenas are starting to look emptier. And if the league keeps this up, these fans are going to absolutely rip it to shreds. Honestly, at this point, it feels like the WNBA is working far harder at punishing its own people than it is at genuinely protecting its entire future.
She's finished. If there is a league for 2026, Kathy Engelbert's not going to be in charge of that league. If I'm Adam Silver, for negotiation purposes, I am taking Kathy Engelbert away from the negotiation tables as soon as possible.
And then there's the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. That simply cannot be delayed anymore. Not another meeting, not another empty promise. Because Kathy, let me be brutally blunt. If you drag this out again, it's not just your commissioner's chair that's at risk, it's the entire league itself. And trust me, fans are absolutely not going to forgive that twice.
If they don't remove Kathy Engelbert from negotiations with the new CBA conversations coming up, that speaks volumes into how desperate the NBA is into kind of keeping this WNBA charade going.
So here we are, guys. Napheesa Collier risked absolutely everything to bravely shout out the truth. The players are now standing together like never before, and the fans are roaring louder than ever. If you truly believe the commissioner deserves instant punishment for all of this, then please share this video with everyone you know. Let the fans be the undeniable voice the league simply cannot and will not ignore.